Recording. To begin, we are all going to take an oath. Please stand.
Hey, we're on the Bible. It's not a big thing, but this is no way.
You do not have to put your hands over your heart. But if you want to, I'm going to. Repeat after me. I promise. In the name of William Shakespeare. To uphold the glory and brilliance. Of Romeo and Juliet. To respect for others and the norms of our class. And to have fun. Please be seated.
Okay, order.
Court is in session.
Order.
The first order of business of our trial is to hear testimony from each character. So if you are a character witness, please rise and take a stand from the class. Citizens of Verona, let us begin. Who are you, good sir?
Okay. Hello, I am Benvolio, and I am not guilty.
Someone videotape this.
There is no evidence that can possibly put me into jail. Romeo and Juliet did what we call here in Verona suicide. That's where they kill themselves and someone doesn't kill them. Also, you have a picture of Juliet stabbing herself on that thing. So, you know, I'm not guilty.
Alright, thank you, Benvolio. Let's not clap for everybody out there. Alright, man, you're right. Friar Lawrence, get it together. Okay. Hello, sir. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Mercutio.
Hello, Mercutio.
I think this whole family feud shit's really stupid. I can't believe I got killed because of a silly feud of two families from that Sir Tibble pussycat.
Oh my god.
Do you have anything else to add, Mercutio?
And I can't believe my friends thought I was kidding, especially Benvolio. Couldn't they see I was injured and needed a surgeon?
Okay.
Dude, I helped you. And
Not everything is joke. Not everything is joke.
Alright, thank you, Mercutio. Friar Lawrence.
No clapping.
Hi, I'm Friar Lawrence. I'm an advisor and a friend to Romeo and Juliet in terms of helping them to solve this feud. And I don't know why I'm here.
Thank you, Friar Lawrence.
I'm the head of the House of Capulet, the father of Juliet, the girl who...
Your head's is Tibble.
He clearly is in grief from losing his nephew that he wanted to wear something of his, okay? Wear it with pride, Capulet.
Continue.
Yeah, the father of Juliet, the girl who died on her wedding day and then killed herself because of her husband.
Wait.
But yeah, I'm the uncle, I was the uncle of Tybalt and the father of Juliet. And I also don't know why I'm here.
Thank you. Nurse, please give your testimony.
I'm a nurse. I've taken care of Juliet ever since she was little. The day of the party, I let Juliet know that Romeo was a Montague. The day of the party, after everything had gone through, I guess Juliet fell in love with Romeo. But if Romeo should have stayed away from Juliet after knowing that they were abused, then it would have been okay. So I blame Romeo.
Thank you, nurse.
I'm Balthazar, Romeo's manservant person. So
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I've heard so much about that. Pleasure.
I witnessed the fight in Act 1, Scene 1, and I told Romeo that Juliet was dead, even though she wasn't, but I didn't know that, so it's not my fault.
My name is Romeo Montague.
Yeah, Montague.
And I fell in love with my dearest Juliet. Her beauty captured my attention instantly. But only if Rosaline wouldn't have become a nun and loved me back, I wouldn't have met Juliet. So I blame Rosaline for all of this.
For not loving you?
Exactly.
Let him speak his piece. Thank you. Very nice, Romeo.
I'm Juliet Capulet, daughter of Lord Lady Capulet of Verona, and I think it's clearly Benvolio's fault because he like honestly disappeared in the middle of the whole floor talking to him.
Suicide!
Anyway, it's his fault because he really left, and if he was truly Romeo's like beloved cousin, friend, I don't know. If he was really just with Romeo the whole time, he wouldn't have told him to fight Tybalt. Or what a soft it is.
Suicide!
Amen. That was my own choice, okay?
Thank
Yeah,
you, Juliet.
you just said it. You all heard
Lovely
it.
testimony.
Hey, y'all heard it. Camera got it.
Yep, camera got it.
Hello, Tybalt.
So, I shouldn't even have to introduce myself. Okay. Everybody should know who I am, but for those of you, I'm Tybalt Capulet. You know, the one who killed Mercutio?
Yeah. Yeah, Romeo instead of you.
I'm gonna get straight to the point. I honestly hate Romeo, and I honestly think it's his fault. I honestly think it's his fault. If he would have just kept to himself and not trespassed on our party, Mercutio would have been dead, I wouldn't have been dead, nor him, or Juliet. Case closed.
Tybalt doesn't know that yet.
Hi, I'm Paris. I was madly in love with Juliet, and I think this whole situation could have been avoided if Romeo would have minded his own business.
Yep.
And if Romeo would have minded his own business and not tried to interfere with our love, and had tried to interfere with our love, I would still be alive, and so would my love, Juliet.
Thank you, Paris. It's a very sad day to be you.
Yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Today on trial before us is a young man by the name of Romeo Montague. The 17-year-old has been prosecuted for nothing less than for falling in love with Juliet Capulet. Our client was so blinded by his burning passion for Juliet that he lost all sense of what's right and what's wrong. So affected by the feuding families that he was clinically insane. Yes, he made these mistakes, but as far as I'm concerned, everyone in this courtroom is involved with this tragedy. He has a negative effect on both Romeo and Juliet's lives. Our client has every right intention and every right intention. All he wanted was to be with Juliet. All he wanted was to be with his wife. He never planned on killing anyone, let alone himself.
When Romeo killed Tybalt, he was caught in the moment of anger that his best friend Mercutio was killed before his eyes. As I believe Benvolio said himself, it was Tybalt's own actions that led to his death. Now some of you may be agreeing with us, but wondering how can we defend Paris, who was killed in the monument. But our client is pleading insanity, as I believe the prosecutors called him a psychopath. And we have evidence to support this plea. Act 5, Scene 3, lines 35 to 39. Romeo says, "By heaven I will tear thee joint by joint, and secure these, this hungry torturer with thy limbs." The times my intents are savage wild, more fierce, and more inexorable far than empty tigers in the roaring sea. To support our statements, I'd like to call to the stand Juliet Capulet as a witness.
Juliet, place your right hand. By the name of the bar, William Shakespeare himself, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but
Are we
the truth?
allowed to call objective?
Thank you. May it proceed, counsel.
We are.
Juliet, do you recall any signs of Romeo being depressed, suicidal, or even insane?
I mean, I had some suspicions. In Act 2, Scene 2, Romeo told me to tell him I loved him. Of course, I was then after I told him, he was basically kind of went a little crazy. He kept like really pushing the fact like, oh, why do you love me? Why this, why that? And kind of scared me.
For compliments?
Very, yes, so.
And did you know that insecurity is a huge sign of depression?
I actually don't know.
So if you knew that, would you say you saw these signs of depression?
Yes.
And when you noticed these things, did you do anything about them, tell anyone, or did you keep it to yourself?
I had to keep it to myself because who was I going to tell? Secret.
Yeah, I understand that. If you could go back and tell someone about these red flags and concerns you were seeing and witnessing, would you?
Oh, yeah, no.
That's all you do. Thank you. Our next witness, Balthazar.
I don't have to go up.
Balthazar, Professor Wright, Romeo and Juliet. By the name of the bard, William Shakespeare himself, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. May proceed.
Balthazar, do you recall any events where you personally thought that maybe Romeo was depressed or delirious?
Yes, Romeo was always a peaceful young man, and he was more of a lover and not a fighter. But after I delivered the news that Juliet was dead, he went to visit her tomb, and in a state of depression and anger, he threatened me and later killed himself in the tomb. He was clearly not in his right mind doing these things, and he was a very disturbed and depressed individual. As his manservant, I spent a lot of time with Romeo, and I can say without a doubt that his actions were those of a depressed, suicidal, and insane boy who didn't understand how serious his actions were. He was blinded by his love for Juliet and did things he would not have otherwise done.
So what you're saying is that you believe Romeo did suffer from depression, mental unstableness, and suicidal thoughts?
Yes, Romeo cannot be blamed for his state of mind. No one could control that. Only the stress of his situation combined with his mental instability.
Thank you, Balthazar. By this information we have shown you, the jurors, it should be clear that Romeo was unstable during the time period shown. We suggest he receive therapy or be put in an asylum for whatever amount of time necessary. However, prison is not the place he needs to be in right now. He needs to undergo serious treatment and assistance to heal his mind and return his sanity.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your defense.
Now that we have told you why we believe Romeo is not guilty, it's time to tell you who is Friar Lawrence. The friar is the one who married them and kept the secret from everyone, including the parents. The friar is the one who generated the plan for Juliet to take the sleeping potion, and just as someone who possesses a great ignorance to deliver a letter of high importance and value to both Romeo and Juliet. Shortly after when Juliet was woken up and saw that her husband was dead, he left the tomb with a dagger and left her with a dagger. We will start with the first of many misjudgments. Friar Lawrence is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. In Act 2, Scene 3, Friar agrees to marry Romeo and Juliet. And despite Juliet knowing the risk of bringing more trouble to both families and the feud, no blessings were received from either side of the two parties. Friar Lawrence had a bad feeling about the marriage. Friar Lawrence had a bad feeling about the marriage when Romeo came and asked him to be wed to Juliet. But he still went against what he felt in his gut and married them all the same. Our proof of this is when he accused said, "Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read thy road that could not spell. But come, unwaver, come to me. In one respect, I'll thy assist by thee. For this alliance may be so happy to prove, and turn your household rancor to pure love." In Act 2, Scene 5, Romeo and Juliet meet Friar Lawrence in cells to get married. Friar Lawrence says the exact words, "Come, come with me, and we'll make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay long, till the Holy Church incorporates two in one."
The quote recently recited shows a few things about Friar Lawrence's character. When he says, come with me, we will make short work, he's having them rush. Most people wouldn't rush to marriage ceremony. However, he knows it's wrong. Also, before the wedding, Friar Lawrence witnessed Romeo ask Juliet to compliment him. This should have signaled off some red flags in his head about Romeo and Juliet's relationship, such as they were young and inexperienced with love, and if he really cared for them and their safety, he should have refused to marry them rather than assisting them to do something he knew had many dangers. The next thing Friar Lawrence did that is terribly wrong is when he started the plan to make Juliet look dead to her family and her close acquaintances. The more intelligent move would have been to tell her family that she was threatening suicide over a young man that loved her and that he married her to. Instead, he invented a plan in which he was putting many things at risk, including Juliet's life.
You will go to jail, Kayla.
Tybalt. I don't know Kayla in this room.
And you believe that he's not at fault for the death of Romeo and Juliet, even though you guys just had like a bunch of information. Takes it out. Huh? Yeah. What? Due to the fact that his intentions were always good plans, but others were not able to carry out his plan. What did they do? For example, like Balthazar, Friar Lawrence. The evidence that I've gathered will lead to the truth of what happened and the innocence of Friar Lawrence.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Tom. I'm here to tell you why my client, Tybalt, raise your hand, Capulet is innocent. Tybalt was willing to ruin the party that his uncle had thrown just to defend his family honor. That's a good man right there. Who else would do that? Defend his family honor while ruin the party. Okay. Okay, through his eyes, he thinks Romeo was there to ruin the fun. Well, that's what, if you're in his position, you might think that as well. Okay, do you actually blame the man for doing that? Anyone?
No.
Oh, right?
No.
So he's within his rights to be angry. You feel me?
Yeah.
What did you say your feelings?
Okay. According to the list, the guest list for the Capulet's party, Romeo's name, in fact, any of the Montagues' names, are not within the list. Which means if he was to enter the party, he'll be trespassing. That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, trespassing is also a serious crime, so I'm just saying, listen to this. Additionally, Juliet was family to him, and he would never hurt his family member, would he? Doesn't seem like it. Romeo's banishment would have been prevented if he didn't trespass and enter the Capulet's party. Right. So for evidence, I would need the sword of Romeo and Gaston. Okay. It'll make sense later. Okay, my first witness I'd like to call on is Tybalt. Okay, Tybalt, what do you remember before you pass out? Who?
Romeo.
Can you say it a little louder?
Romeo.
Romeo. So were you a victim?
Yeah.
He was a victim. Were you upset when you see Romeo at the party?
Of course, he's caught in trouble. Montagues do.
Can you say it a little louder because some people might not hear you?
That's what Montagues do.
Okay. What do Montagues do?
They get in trouble.
Okay. Alright. Do you meant to kill?
I'm accusing Friar Lawrence for the death of Romeo and Juliet.
My witnesses are both Romeo and Juliet, who were both directly affected by his actions. One poor decision Friar Lawrence makes is to agree to marry the couple in secret. While at first he's optimistic about the match, thinking it may help unite the two warring families, it is later very evident that Friar Lawrence doubts the rightness of his decision. The quote I have for that is, "These violent delights have violent ends, and they will triumph die, like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume." And for my first witness, can I have Juliet?
So Juliet's not here, so standing in for Juliet is Nicole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So just remember what you know about the character.
May I begin?
Answer them authentically, okay?
Hold on, right now.
By the name of the bar room, Shakespeare himself, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
This is her.
Yes.
No, she's Juliet.
This is Juliet.
No.
Yeah, the character is.
Yes.
Question is, did you get married to Romeo with Friar Lawrence's consent? Yeah. Steve, well, Friar Lawrence married them without letting anybody else know, and that's kind of his own decision because he had the choice not to, which pretty much caused a lot of what happened in the story. The second question is, did you receive a potion secretly from Friar Lawrence to make you appear dead? Yeah. This also shows how Friar Lawrence planned against the two families, like the big families, not letting them know anything, which pretty much caused their death. And question 3, did you kill yourself because Romeo did?
I guess I can't I don't know, I can't see myself without Romeo.
Okay. This shows that Romeo killed himself because he thought you were dead, which you took a potion that you received from Friar Lawrence. So, what?
No. He's accusing Friar Lawrence. Let's get to the end of his argument.
Yeah, so Friar Lawrence knowingly gave you a potion which made you seem dead, and that made Romeo kill himself. So, it's Friar Lawrence's fault. That's all I got.
Thank you. You may return to the courtroom. Who's your second witness, Chris? Romeo, right?
Yes.
All right. Romeo, please approach the stand for the millionth time. I'm sorry, Anne.
Dude, these are pretty much the exact same question. So, did you get married to Juliet with Friar Lawrence's consent?
No.
Yeah, same thing. This shows that Friar Lawrence caused most of the events that happened in the story because he married them in secret. The second question is, did you kill yourself because you thought Juliet was dead?
Yep.
Friar Lawrence caused Juliet to seem dead, and that caused Romeo to kill himself. So, yeah. That's it.
And do you have a concluding statement for the jury? That's okay. Just summarize your main points.
It was Friar Lawrence's fault because he was one of the most direct people to cause most of the problems that happened between Romeo and Juliet and causing them to kill themselves.
Okay. Thank you very much.